There were 3 people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
He really looks like a pig. I mean, he's like, he is. He's a fucking, he's a pig. Like, I tuned in during the beginning and the judge dismissed the defense for wanting to call one of the dudes involved as a mental hospital patient. Bro, what is even the defense? The dude murdered 2 people for no reason. The defense is he is a good, wholesome, white Christian boy who traveled to Kenosha specifically so he could defend someone else's fucking property. I mean, who amongst us has not done that? That's totally normal. And then was acting out in self-defense. You know, because people just, these rioters and these looters, they hate the notion of private property, and they're rioters and looters, and that's precisely why, you know, they wanted to kill him. They wanted to murder him because he was a big defender of patriotism. Because conservatives are under attack. A lot of fucked up shit happened. He was also walking around lying about being a medic. No, I think he did actually. I mean, some people do that. They do bring like medical supplies with them. That doesn't change the reality that, like, here's what you do when you want to fucking bring medical supplies to an active situation where shit could pop off. Not your fucking AR-15 that you're brandishing, and just the medical supplies. That's what you do. The medic was the guy he didn't kill but was shot. Yeah, like... Imagine risking your life for someone else's property. I mean, he wasn't even, like, technically risking his life. He was trying to get a legal kill. Like, that's what he was trying to do, and he got it. This is what happens when you get a fucking legal kill. Except the problem is everyone is also turning him into a hero. So this is, like, the greatest thing that could have happened to, like, internet conservatives, because the greatest thing that could have happened to internet conservatives is this, because this is their fantasy. This is like the psychopathic, bloodthirsty fantasies that they've all had. Okay? Reddit was going off the shelf, off on the self-defense shit, lol. He's crying without getting tears, fake fuck. It doesn't even matter, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like, this was a performance for the jury towards the end of his breakdown. Just before the break, he should have been most distraught. Check it out. He glances over. This was a performance for the jury towards the end of his breakdown, just before the break, when Rittenhouse should have been the most distraught. He was glancing over to the jury with very calm eyes. Prosecutor literally started by blaming video games and then threats of mistrial. Yeah, I mean, it was dog shit from top to bottom. And if any of you motherfuckers think that, like, in a situation where, like, a black nationalist, you know what I mean? Like a Pan-African black nationalist, like one of the not fucking around coalition guys, shot 2 fucking white people and traveled across state lines with a gun that he wasn't supposed to have on him and shot 2 white people. If you think that, like, the self-defense aspect would work, you are literally delusional. Like, you're insane. First of all, he wouldn't have been able to walk away. They would have killed him immediately. So, you know, cops would not be like, hey, here's some water bottles for you, sir. Thanks for all your good, sir. Thanks for your service, kind sir. They would just literally fucking murder him on the spot. Here's the clip of him looking at the jury. It's 100 times better. Bro, that's hilarious, dude. Okay, dude. Like, this motherfucker is not a victim, and this motherfucker is not, like, distraught. He literally did exactly what conservatives openly fucking fantasize about on the internet, which is go to a fucking riot situation, okay? with your weapon and shoot. That's why Chris Kyle openly lied about killing looters during Katrina off the top of the Superdome. Like, these are, if you've been following hogs like I have for a very long time, you immediately knew what the fuck was going on. Okay, you immediately knew what the fuck was going on. This is a guy who acted on the desires that so many fucking conservatives have. This and literally driving over protesters, which is like an easier way to get a confirmed legal kill there. So those are the two things. So much so that like 90% of conservative media that has made memes about driving over Black Lives Matter protesters had to literally delete all of those fucking articles and those video compilations that they had made in the aftermath of Charlottesville when Heather Heyer was murdered by a white supremacist terrorist who traveled all the way down the fucking Charlottesville and acted out on that desire of driving into a crowd of fucking anti-fascist protesters. So that's it. That's the reality. That's how it works. A guy tried to do this in my city, posted on Instagram beforehand with a rant about get our weapons and defend ourselves nonsense, was showing a gun beforehand, saying he was going down to the protest, pointed a gun at someone too, didn't shoot though. That's illegal, by the way. Like, you can't just be fucking brandishing your AR-15 around. You know what I mean? Just like you can't fucking bring someone else's AR-15 over state lines. I don't give a fuck if it's 20 minutes, you know, if it's just a 20-minute drive. Like, it doesn't matter. You're literally fucking violating multiple laws. So you can reduce it to the fucking self-defense argument till the cows come home, but ultimately, the reality does not change. It's unchanging. Where's the friend he called right after he killed a man to brag about it? If the Rittenhouse don't fit in house, you must acquit in house. What the fuck? Yeah. Motherfuckers be like, actually, technically, it was, 23 minutes and 30 seconds of drive time, which all of a sudden it completely fucking, destroys the argument that it's across state boundaries. Like, I mean, there's different laws in different states, and there are federal laws like the ones that Kyle Rittenhouse violated in an effort to get a fucking legal kill. And he did. Okay? Hold this L. Dude admitted to aiming his gun first. Wait, what? Hold this L. What L, dude? Like, what kind of fucking delusional baboons do I have in this community if you're like not looking at the situation from a broader perspective and exclusively hyper focusing on literally just the fucking idiotic details that will absolve someone? Yeah, we're all holding the L, you fucking dingus. The L is that, like, in the United States of America, you as a 17-year-old can get so fucked up in the brain and so brain diseased that you can literally go to a fucking active situation as a counter protester with an AR-15, kill a bunch of people, kill 2 people, maim another, and get away with it. How is that? We're all holding the L as a society. If your only interest in this situation is just like the win an internet argument, lol, in the fucking Twitch chatters, community, you are a pathetic dweeb. You know what I mean? Holy fuck. It's just like, it is a complete betrayal of the values that you supposedly espouse, that you supposedly fucking care about. You know what I mean? Anyway, here's a ban for you, so you hold that L. 6-month subscriber, dumbass. It's like, I don't give a fuck about the internet argument side of this, okay? I know that that's a lot of what you care about, which is like, ooh, like, do we win the internet argument here? Is that what happened? Do we lose the internet argument? Because, like, you have fucking horse blinders on, and the only thing you care about is the blood sports of, like, 2 fucking virgin nerds going up against one another on the internet with, like, who will win rhetorically over one another, and that's the only thing you care about. But, like, motherfuckers died, bro. That's not great. Coming back from lunch, Kyle Rittenhouse's defense team argues that the prosecution is purposely aiming for a mistrial. Meanwhile, the judge's phone rings. The ringtone is Lee Greenwood's patriotic anthem, God Bless the USA. Oh, of course, dude. They're like, what? I have no opinion on this one way or the other. Fuck it, dude. Like, I don't know.
I don't think that's necessarily what I'm supposed to do. But I think the court has to make some findings as it relates to the bad faith on the part of the prosecution. And if the court makes a finding that the actions that I had talked about.
Dude, defense is literally laughing. They're just actually laughing. That's great.
We're done in bad faith.
He smiled. He's like, it's such a wrap, dude. This is such a layup. He's like, I cannot believe how much of a fucking layup this is. Lawyer also made fat bank. Yeah, it's like.
Then I think both elements. I'm
surprised the defense hasn't called up Joe Rogan on his expert opinion on this. They can argue self-defense or whatever, but what about his illegal gun? It literally doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. Hasan versus Linus 1v1 when? Whenever, dude. Name the time and place. Why would they want a mistrial if they can get innocent? What happened to the match against Rice Gum, though? I used to be a LARPing-ass Red Guard. What up, dude? What? Even if he's guilty of the gun charge, I bet the judge will just fine him. I mean, dude, it doesn't matter. It's just like, none of it matters. They're gonna fucking, he's gonna get away with it. Judge going off on the prosecution. Here.
Denial.
From day one, this judge was already fucking biased Andy. Like, you know.
Why would you think that that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury? You are already, I was astonished.
He's fucking laying into the prosecutor. Binger mentioned a previous time the defender had wished he had his AR-15 to protect property. Judge ruled pre-trial it's not coming in. Judge sent jury out and is screaming at Binger.
When you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest.
Like, I mean, the trial started off. If you want to understand like how this fucking works, the trial literally started off with the judge stating that you could not consider the dead victims, but you could technically consider them rioters and looters, which I would say is maybe a little bit, a little bit slanted in one direction.
Silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that. And it gives, well, I'll leave it at that. So I don't know what you're up to.
May I respond?
Yes.
We filed another acts motion on this exact issue because, in my mind, and I argued this, it is identical to what was going on the night of August 25th, in the sense that the defendant was using this exact same weapon. He was using it in a manner to try and protect property.
No, he wasn't.
Your Honor, with all due respect...
I'm not going to rehash the motion. That's absolutely untrue. No. Your argument's of record. My comments are of record, and why I ruled as I did is of record. There's nothing that I heard in this trial to suggest anything's changed. Even if you're correct in your assumption that you know more than I did at the time, you should have come to the court and say, I want to go into this. Why you would think that you could go into it without any advance notice to the court, I don't understand that. And as the defense is pointing out, you're an experienced trial lawyer, and this should not have been gone into.
Your Honor, there have been things in this case, testimony in this case, that I believe opens the door.
Jesus Christ, who is using the Chrome? First world country? We are, dude, this is not, we are not, okay? It's, I mean, my dude put out a performance that he didn't even need to do.
Pardon me?
That was before the defense
testimony. Don't get brazen with me.
Don't get brazen with me, don't ya know? Are you going to watch the live stream for the case? No, of course not, dude. Of course the fuck not. Obviously, I'm not. And the reason for why I'm not going to fucking go through it is because I don't want to get banned. There's like a lot of fucking TOS shit in courtrooms. You know that already. I didn't do the George Floyd court case either, if you remember. I did it like briefly. We looked at it for like 3.5 minutes, and then I was like, I can't do this.
You knew very well. You know very well that an attorney can't go into these types of areas when the judge has already ruled without asking outside the presence of the jury to do so. So don't give me that. That's number one. Number two, this is propensity evidence. I said at the time that I made my ruling, and I'll repeat again now for you, I see no similarity between talking about wishing you had your AR gun, which you don't have, so that you could fire rounds at these thought to be shoplifters, and the incidents in these cases, which are not, there's nothing in your case that suggests the defendant was lying in wait to shoot at somebody or reflecting upon the shooting for a vast amount of time. Every one of the incidents involved.
Hassan made a limited supply of the orange hoodie, so I buy the black hoodie and then the orange hoodie once it's been restocked. Capitals, without a doubt. Yeah, totally. No, I love that. Instead of like just having enough readily available at the time in a timely manner so that everyone could be happy and buy whatever the fuck they want to buy. I did this on purpose, dude.
Matters that involve.
Wait, was he about to say thug?
Vast amount of time. Every one of the incidents involves matters that involve seconds in time. So I commented at the time, I don't see the similarity, and I don't see the similarity now. If it's not similar, that's the whole rule.
I don't see how talking about wishing you had your gun to shoot is relevant to having your gun and shooting at a different date. The same gun. I can't access the site on mobile. Is that normal? Dude, I am not the fucking... It's not normal. I can access the site easily on mobile, and I don't want to be the fucking FAQ system here. There's like, the website has like all of those questions answered. Judge is more senile and emotionally volatile than Joe Biden. Go ask the contact us, all the questions you have, just reach out to the contact us portion and they will help you, okay? Yeah, motherfuckers are like, yo, it's tech support.
That's what
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
That's what I run.
We're gonna just take it. Time for our break anyway.
Oh, you poor kid, don't you know? Let's see how the fucking Rittenhouse judge behaves when they're talking to the defense, though. Hold on, I'm gonna do a quick pre-scroll here, see if there's any blood or anything like that. Okay, no. Like, from what I saw, the prosecution was kind of doo-doo, but also the judge was, you know, it was heavily slanted in a certain side from the jump, I think.
It's just,
Well,
yeah, I had made a ruling that the evidence wasn't coming in, and you decided that it was.
if I could just respond to that briefly, Your Honor, I was about to say, I did not interpret your ruling as an absolute. We've had 3 state motions in limine. There was one in which we asked the court to introduce evidence that the defendant was at Pudgy's bar with Proud Boys, and you were clear that is not coming in. There was,
You know, don't get into other subjects. Come on, what you're telling me, you're an experienced trial attorney, and you're telling me that when the judge says, I'm excluding this, you just to take it upon yourself to put it in because you think that you've found a way around it? Come on.
if I may finish, Your Honor, I was about to say, your ruling on our 3 motions and other acts motions was, there were some gradations there. You were clear.
The judge is trying to deny the prosecution from contextualizing Kyle's intentions while at the same time allowing statements from police about how cars were burning and buildings being destroyed. Good shit. I mean, that, what you just described right there is the exact same energy as not being able to fucking frame the people that died as victims, but also being able to call them, and giving an allowance to call them rioters and looters. So that's, it's the exact same energy. It's just that, like, it's just super prejudiced and super biased. It's just how it is. Like, and if you thought that, like, bro, if you thought that a white 17-year-old boy did something that every fucking conservative has fantasized about, which is to get a legal kill in a situation like this as a counter-protester, if you thought that they were not going to let him get away with this, I don't know what to tell you. The judge legit looks like he wants to say, okay, fuck this. I just like the kid, okay? I like what he did. He walks. I mean, the verdict in this initial trial doesn't even matter. Will 100% be appealed. Bro, this kid is literally gonna fucking get away with it, okay? He's 17. They did a very good job of, like, hiding all of the prior things that you could use to, you know, build actively a character, like, that you could portray his character and his intentions, because ultimately the part of, like, the self-defense, that sticks. That's gonna stick. If you can't talk about the prior convictions that this person had, not like legally, I'm saying, the reason why he was there, you're never going to be able to fucking do anything with that case. Like, his goal was to put himself in a situation like this so he could fucking go and shoot people, and he did. It is a very common conservative trope. It's a very common conservative fantasy. It's a very common conservative desire, and he acted out those desires perfectly. Now, not only that, but the really scary part about this is that this is a super fucking common threat. So now you have other people who are going to behave in a similar capacity, okay? You're going to have other people behave in a similar capacity, knowing full well that they will be hailed as heroes in the end. and can get like a fucking a book deal out of it instead of criminal punishment. I can't wait until you give me a reason to shoot tactic. Yeah, exactly.
Just asked you, so you're a certified EMT, and you said yes, correct?
Yes.
That was a lie, correct?
I'm not an EMT.
You're not a certified EMT. You're not an EMT of any kind. You weren't on that night, correct?
Yes.
So you lied to him, correct?
I told him I was an EMT, but I wasn't.
And you knew you were being interviewed by someone in the media when you told that lie, didn't you?
Yes.
That was the judge's ringtone? I thought that was someone in the jury's ringtone. God bless the USA. The normalization of this dude is scary. Militias will get so much if he gets a light punishment. No punishment, bro. On the one hand, you got Tucker Carlson fucking talking about how like the FBI is literally trying to kill white American patriots. And then on the other hand, you have, you know, the actual criminal justice system allowing white conservative kids to just like go and fucking murk people as long as it's like as long as they can establish that they are unsafe, knowing full well that they're putting themselves in an unsafe environment, like personally brandishing a weapon and absolutely getting into a situation where like they are going to have conflict. Was he seen on his social media before the shooting saying he was going to go there to shoot people? What? No, dude, what is this? The fucking, he didn't say the N-word defense of racism version, but for Kyle Rittenhouse? Like, is that the only time? I'm sorry, Your Honor. Did Jeffrey Dahmer ever say he was going to murder someone? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. What do you mean? Oops, sorry. He never said it. Dismissed, dude. Thank God we got some good lawyers in the chat. Epstein is innocent, dude. Yeah. Wait, what did Hell Dude say? The Hell Dude back with another correct legal analysis. I previously said he was going to walk, but I admit now this was wrong. The jury is also going to award him $5 million in damages. Oh, it's so sad, but it's true. If you're the DA, you may as well bring up his invocation of his right to remain silent after his arrest. Why not? Have fun with it now. Explore the space.
Strongly admonish him, and the next time it happens, I'll be asking for a mistrial with prejudice. He's an expected to provoke a mistrial on this matter. He knows he can't go into this, and he's asking the questions. I ask the court to strongly admonish him, and the next time it happens...
Just trying to keep a good faith interpretation here. I think that chatter was genuinely asking for context. I mean, dude... This is a very common trope and a meme and a fantasy that conservatives have. If you have ever looked at like conservative memes, conservative Reddits, if you know conservatives at all, you know that they actively fantasize about bringing a gun to a natural disaster or a protest with the fantasy that like someone will come up to them so they can use it in what is known as a legal kill. Okay? That's precisely what he was doing. And that is what he did. He did that. And he got away with it. He's going to get away with it, rather. Are there instances where self-defense is valid? Of course. And I've talked about this endlessly in the beginning. Like, not at the beginning of this trial, but last year when this happened. Of course, if you are defending your own property and someone is trying to come in to your property, you, of course, have the right to be able to shoot someone. Okay? But that, in my opinion, that is not a broader interpretation where you can invoke self-defense or knowing full well that you're going to invoke a self-defense argument, go to a different fucking state with a gun that you're not supposed to have, brandish it, and then fucking start blasting motherfuckers. And when people are like, holy shit, this is a shooter, and try to stop you, kill one more person and maim another in the process. Chris Kyle straight up publishes Katrina fanfic. Exactly. The video not being allowed to be shown is literally Kyle the day before saying he would shoot protesters if he had his gun. Does anyone have that video? Has anyone seen that video? I would like to see that video. I didn't even know that there was a video like that. Well, according to the court system, you wrong, bro. Yeah, no shit. That doesn't matter, though. We're not talking about, like, guys, I talk about how the American criminal justice system is absolutely fucked and incredibly racist, damn near on a daily basis. So if I'm doing that, like, why the fuck would you think that that opinion would magically change and all of a sudden it's infallible for like a brief moment? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like the criminal justice system said OJ didn't do it. Okay. You scroll to the bottom of this Washington Post article. Oh my fucking god! I don't have a WAPO. Oh, I don't have. Hold on. Yeah, we will finish the Gary V video in a bit. Okay. Add a dot to the end of the URL. I don't think that's gonna work. I feel like the websites know that trick now. Yeah, see, it doesn't work anymore. Let's try this again. Oh, come on, WAPO. Oh, there it is. So the end of this article. While generally respected, Schroeder is not universally loved and has been accused of overstepping his authority. He once ordered a woman convicted of shoplifting as a part of her sentence to inform an employee of any retail store she entered that she was under supervision for theft. The Wisconsin Court of Appeals later avoided that element of her sentence. In another case from the 80s, Schroeder ordered a babysitter accused of molesting a child to submit to an AIDS test. He began requiring sex workers that appeared before him to do the same. There was no statutory authority for him to do that, John Anthony Ward, who represented the babysitter and has appeared before Schroeder an estimated 500 times, but he's been cutting edge with many of my cases. But Ward added that Schroeder believes in giving people a second chance if you admit your wrongdoing. A 31-year-old man who had a case in front of Schroeder as a juvenile said the judge let him off easy. He said, "I'll let you go this time, but if I ever see you again, I'll put you away for life." Oh yeah, that guy, XV1, thank you for the... What the fuck? Thank you for the gifted subs. Hold on. 5 gifted subs. When he faced another charge, this time as an adult, his case was assigned to Schroeder. Mindful of the judge's warning, he successfully appealed for a different assignment. He's a stickler, but he does what a judge is supposed to do. He'll laugh with you and smile with you, and then he'll book you. What the fuck? Though Schroeder is generally perceived to be more friendly to the defense than to the state, he appeared to protect prosecutor Thomas Binger from what could have been a tactical error in the Rittenhouse case. During pretrial motions, Schroeder ruled that the defense could not introduce Rosenbaum's history of mental illness, including the fact that he was released from a psychiatric hospital just before showing up to the demonstrations in Kenosha. Allowing the evidence would have strengthened the defense arguments that Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense when he fatally shot Rosenbaum. Yeah, okay, he didn't do that, but then he did 11 other things that literally helped the defense. Who the fuck wrote this article? In his opening statement, Binger had mentioned that Rosenbaum had been in the hospital, though he did not say what it was for mental illness, which could have opened the door for the defense to introduce his health struggles. In Kenosha, Schroeder has won support for it from conservative AM radio hosts and callers who have praised his decisions, his manner, and his willingness to go after critics in the media. But the judge's rulings have alarmed a small group of racial justice advocates who have gathered outside the courthouse during the trial. Primarily, they cite Schroeder's ban on the word victims as the cause of their concern. Among some Kenosha residents as well, there is concern that Rittenhouse will be acquitted and a suspicion that the judge's rulings will play a role. Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse dreamed about shooting people days before the Kenosha video. Wait, is this the actual fucking... Oh.
It looks like one of them has a weapon. She hung up. Bro, I wish I had my AR. I'd start shooting rounds at them.
That's interesting. I wonder on what grounds they did not use that. Yeah, that was not relevant, huh? Yeah, that seems to be irrelevant in a case where he did actually bring his AR the next day and did shoot at people. So that's kind of... Binger filed a motion to use a clip of the trial of the teen who insisted he was acting in self-defense when he fatally shot Anthony Huber and Joseph Rosenbaum and injured Gage Grosskreutz during Black Lives Matter protest last August. The defendant's state of mind is a critical issue in this case, the motion stressed, saying the video from only 15 days earlier provides crucial insight. Quite simply, the defendant saw something, jumped to a conclusion based on exactly zero facts, and then threatened to kill someone based on his baseless assumption and wrongful interpretation. The defendant's understanding of the proper use of his AR of this deadly force is crucial to this case, and this video demonstrates that the defendant was eager to use deadly force in an unlawful situation. The video also demonstrates that the defendant fervently sought to insert himself as an armed vigilante into situations that had nothing to do with him. And it also shows that he was, and this is true, that he was ready and willing to use deadly force in a situation where it was completely unjustified. Rittenhouse's lawyers have yet to respond to the new motion, court records show. Second motion also seeks the names of anyone who has donated to Rittenhouse legal defense or $2 million bail, and even those who brought free Kyle merchandise through his family's website to ensure they cannot end up on the jury pool. Ideology did restock. Yes, you can get your hoodies now. You will get them a little bit later than the people that were able to get them yesterday, though. Can Kyle sue Facebook for censoring stuff about him if he wins? Wait, what? Rittenhouse's murder case is now thrown into a jeopardy by mistrial bid. You made it sound like that's Kyle's merch? Free Kyle? Oh, my merchandise is separate from Kyle. Kyle Rittenhouse's merchandise is restocked as of now. You guys wanted it. We worked with the merchandisers to make sure that you could get them. So you can get them now. It's not going to be available immediately. I mean, they are available. You're just going to get them in January instead of instead of December. Anyway. Hyundai made an electric 19. Oh my fucking God. Are you serious? Okay, this is unrelated to the Kyle Rittenhouse case, but fuck, this is so sick. Hyundai electrifies his 1986 Grandeur in a retro futuristic restoration. Dude, I want this. Like, I love retro cars that are electric, dude. I think it's so sick. This is ugly. Are you kidding me, dude? This is like straight out of fucking. I look. I know Hyundai is not Japanese, so don't get fucking mad at me. But this straight up looks like a Yakuza car. Okay, like it literally looks like. Oh my god! Imagine fucking driving down the street with this. Oh my fucking god! Elegance, class. If I have this fucking car, I'm John Wick. Nobody can tell me I'm not. Yeah, literally. That's the no bitches car? Yeah, right. Just like the fucking merchandise is the no bitches merchandise, right? Hyundai isn't Japanese. No way, dude. Dude driving that's an IRS agent that gets in the bar fights after work. Yeah, this is like X-Files, dude. Does the inside use an iPad for controls? I hope not. Just buy an old car then. Why buy fake classic? Because it's not electric. I love the idea that you could get a fucking electric vehicle. I love the idea that you could fucking purchase an electric vehicle that is still like an old classic. It's sick. Oh, wow. They have a bunch. Futuristic and retro. Hyundai transforms first generation 1975 Pony with electric powertrain. Oh, that's fucking sweet, dude. Anything after a Prius would be a fucking upgrade? Yeah, literally. Okay. We're done with this. Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse is a baby. Squirrel asks a very simple question that gets to the heart of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. If he were a black radical leftist who shot and killed 2 white right-wingers, would he be acquitted under any circumstances? Anyone who answers yes to that question is knowingly lying. We literally have this, by the way. This is not a hypothetical. And it doesn't even have to be a black person. It can be a white anti-fascist who shot and killed a Proud Boy. Okay? A white supremacist Proud Boy who was fucking literally threatening other people with bear spray and like spraying people. He shot and killed a Proud Boy in Portland. Donald Trump literally had him assassinated. Okay? Donald Trump had him assassinated by the marshals and then flexed that he had him assassinated. Not allegedly, motherfucker. He literally said it. He's like, we're going to deal with him. We're sending the marshals, deal with him. And then they did. They dealt with him. They murdered him. And they lied about how he had a gun at the time when he was murdered. And it came out immediately that that was a lie. Like, do you not remember any of this shit? Michael Rennell, Portland. Motherfucker did a Vice interview. And then 2 days later, marshals fucking jumped him, basically. They came up and just unloaded into him. Proof? Even thinking about this would get the trial stage defies belief. He'd have been taken down by cops in record time, unlike Kyle. The person who shot and killed the right-winger doesn't have to be black. Oh, never mind. They already posted it. Look, yeah. Hey guys, remember when Donald Trump openly fucking admitted to this and flexed?
2.5 days went by, and I put out, when are you going to go get him? And the U.S. Marshals went in to get him. And in a short period of time, they ended in a gunfight. This guy was a violent criminal.
A lot of them out there.
And the U.S. Marshals killed him. And I will tell you something, that's the way it has to be. There has to be retribution when you have crime.
Yeah, I mean, he did that. He talked about it in rallies. People literally were just like hyped up about Trump killing this dude. Really amazing that the Michael Reynolds case got barely any coverage, including by so-called civil libertarians who were crying crocodile tears about Kyle Rittenhouse. Literally the state, on orders of the president, hunting down someone, murdering them, and then covering it up. But it is also not at all surprising because the professional media and political class doesn't actually adhere to any principles. They merely feign caring about them as a part of their professional branding. And depraved political project. More in this thread. I'm just looking at like what white privilege doesn't quite capture the symbiotic relationship between state forces and far-right militias. Its right-wing white privilege allows a 17-year-old to murder leftists, pass by cops, and drive back to his home state, or aim to assault rifles at feds on live camera. I want to highlight that this clip from that thread on COINTELPRO, a decades-long FBI program that included the extrajudicial execution of leftists, like the 21-year-old chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. I've talked about Fred Hampton a bunch. Here's another recent case. A radical leftist being prosecuted and imprisoned for years for posting online about the need for self-defense. And you're crying about Kyle Rittenhouse and turning that into the major threat for civil liberties? It's a joke. Oh, yeah. There was a Florida anarchist that literally is going to jail, like, already, for posting about the need for self-defense. Daniel Baker made a call for armed defense against possible far-right attacks, and he literally fucking got a harsher sentence than the January 6th insurrectionists, and he got a harsher sentence than Kyle Rittenhouse. Squirrel tweet thread without mentioning Chomsky. Impossible difficulty. Yep. The LDR, this land was stolen. The thieves won't let anyone else have a part of it. Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why you don't hear about this shit, though, in the fucking mainstream media, because they don't give a fuck. There is no real, like, principled fucking stance here at all. This young boy was vaccinated 2 hours before this video was filmed. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He just became feminine because of the vaccine. Anyway. Should we watch?
I was cornered from.
Wait, hold on. Should we watch Louder with Crowder? I feel like he's gonna make me lose my mind. He's gonna melt my brain with his fucking incredible takes. Kyle Rittenhouse's emotional courtroom breakdown. Really? Soviet flag? Don't worry, brother. I've put up American flags in the past too, okay?
I was cornered from in front of me with
all right, I gotta pee.
Mr. Zeminski, and there were
Holder.
There were 3 people right there.
See, that's real.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
That's what I... That's what I run.
You'll remember where you were when you saw this.
Time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break about 10 minutes.
All right.
And please don't talk about the case during the break.
All of you, just right now. First off, that just changed the case. Yeah. You will remember where you were when you watched it, and I'm glad that I was there to share that with you. Gage didn't. None of the other witnesses brought forward did. Look, the kid's not a professional actor, and I don't think that's an Academy Award performance if he is. That's a kid who was overcome with emotion. And again, you're talking about a kid who was there to put out fires, to provide medical assistance, who was there because he saw a town on fire.
And genuinely feels bad that he hurt somebody who was trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who doesn't feel that way?
The ear gauge guy who didn't care at all, who sat there with dead eyes like it was no problem.
Well, not only that, but you know who doesn't feel that way? The person who runs up and points a gun at somebody who was not violent toward them. The person who puts on a mask and runs out behind a car screaming, "F you and I'll kill you," when they weren't aggressive towards them and corners them.
Or attacks people smaller and weaker that are turned around.
Right. God, my heart breaks for that kid.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's real. Maybe that's...
I thought the only person that could stop a bad guy with a gun was with a good guy with a gun, but it was literally, in this instance, a good guy with a skateboard. And this dude fucking murked him, right? And even then, this dude fucking murked him. And even then, it's like, you know, that's still also a bad guy. It's crazy. Stop flexing the hoodie. It doesn't matter. Well, one, I'm cold. And two, you can fucking buy it now. So stop crying. I literally restocked it for you. Cops literally almost killed an 80-year-old dude in Buffalo. Yeah.
That's why they put him on the stand.
Yeah.
Because they knew, you know what, this trial needs a little bit of authenticity. All of a sudden, when the veil of pomp and circumstance is lifted, and you just see this is a kid.
A kid.
Who
just a
had
child.
to make some tough decisions.
Just a child with tough decisions.
Who ultimately is going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. And that's why when people say, that's why, think of how evil it is for a second. Think of this for a second. That kid is there crying. Right? And all of you right now, we all feel, hopefully, unless you're a sociopath like Rosenbaum or like a Gage. Sorry, I get it, hearsay. But unless you're a sociopath, your heart goes out to that kid. Even the media is trying to acknowledge that he's not a stone-cold killer, right? But think about this for a second. The kid was banned from GoFundMe. Posts praising Kyle Rittenhouse were removed from Facebook, from Twitter, under their guidelines of supporting mass shooting. They were caught videotaping the jurors this week. They're trying to dox the jurors. Here, you know, do we have that clip of them? Here you go. Here's the judge talking about they were caught trying to pressure the jurors, to try and slant the jury. And you wonder why people on the right say that the left hates the United States of America. What? They hate due process. They hate the right to self-defense. They hate the right to free speech. And in this case, with one simple act of trying to videotape the jurors and make it public, they're infringing on all of those. The First Amendment, the Second Amendment, not to mention due process and a fair trial. Here is the judge talking about it yesterday.
This morning at the pickup, there was someone there and was video recording the jury, which the officers approached the person and required her, I didn't even ask.
Whoa. I think this is kind of petty. Like, conservatives are the pettiest motherfuckers on the planet, dude. They're Petty White. They're Tom Petty. It's like, even when they clearly are winning, because the fucking system is designed in a way that, like, literally allows them to win. When the foundations of the system itself are slanted heavily in their favor and their worldview. Like, even then, they find a thing to cry about. It's wild. It is actually kind of creative when you think about it. It's like a liberal who gets mad at you when you're not, like, advocating for Joe Biden hard enough. You know what I mean? You have to, like, suck it up, tell people to vote for Joe Biden, but then also, like, make it seem like you enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what more do you fucking want, dog? What more do you want? You got everything. Like, what do you want? The judge basically did damn near everything other than say, like, this kid's innocent. Fuck you guys for even, you know, wasting my time here. And they're still finding shit to fucking cry about, dude. 17-year-old's a kid, by the way. And he is a kid. Like, let's be real. Kyle Rittenhouse, this is a very sad state of affairs considering that he is 17. He is a fucking kid. He's a murderer, but he's a kid. But that very same empathetic language is never extended to victims of police violence when they are black by conservatives. We know motherfuckers will literally, even in like the impartial or rather liberal mainstream media, when people talk about like 12-year-old victims, 13-year-old victims, 14-year-old victims, a 13-year-old man, 14-year-old man, 14-year-old black man. I've heard Sean Hannity literally say that. We have the absolute worst fucking legal system. How was it murder when you said it would have been self-defense if roles were reversed? Wait, what? I didn't say it was self-defense if roles were reversed. Also, my point isn't that like this is not self-defense. My point is that he actively placed himself in a situation and brandished a weapon as an agitator with a gun, specifically so he could get a self-defense trial going. It's the same mentality as motherfuckers who rage out in states where there's a castle doctrine that extends beyond just your house with self-defense laws, like the George Zimmerman case, for example, where someone who is acting as a vigilante acts out on those desires of killing someone in a caught in a crime or whatever the fuck, and gets away with that murder. It's a legal kill that you can get. Conservatives fantasize about this regularly. Tamir Rice literally brandished a weapon while an officer was pulling up. That's bullshit. Tamir Rice had a toy gun and was 12 fucking years old. How the fuck? And got shot from inside of the cop car. How are you gonna fucking act like that was a normal situation, dude? Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old child who had a toy gun. That's insane. Insanity, dude. I'm banning that person. It's like they literally rolled up to the fucking playground and shot him from the car. Some of you don't know any conservative people or are conservative if you're defending this, and it shows. Like, it's just obvious. Like, if you've never seen a conservative fantasize about murdering like rioters and looters, whether it be a natural disaster or a protest, you just don't know any fucking conservatives. It is the most common conservative trope, so much right there, right along with driving through a crowd of protesters. So much so that nearly every single conservative media outlet had to delete their compilations that they made of people driving through a fucking crowd of protesters. They had to delete them after Charlottesville. Prosecutor right now exposing that Rittenhouse's cover story doesn't add up. Second to last clip on the thread. The prosecutor is drawing blood on Rittenhouse. His cover story about why he was wandering around with an AR-15 doesn't add up.
Fair to say that after the police pushed everybody south of 60th, you never saw any people threatening that property, correct?
I didn't see anybody.
That's such an idiotic thing that the prosecutor has to go along with too. Like this notion that that's a reasonable instance where you can be running around with a fucking AR-15 and brandish it. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I was defending someone else's property. Like only in America can you say that. In every other fucking country, okay? In every other country, if you're like, sorry, officer, I had a fucking literal like AR-15, like a fucking long barrel rifle, okay, with a magazine that holds, fucking 30 rounds. And I was walking around with it because I wanted to defend someone else's fucking property. Be like, get the fuck out of here. You're going to jail, bitch. The fuck do you mean? But in America, we're like, we have to act like that's normal. And that's so psychotic to me. Like, I'm here to tell you, we don't have to act like that's normal. Okay? It's wild that, like, we have to play make-believe amongst ourselves to make it seem like someone could just be like, I'm a 17-year-old, I have an AR-15, I'm not supposed to have it, but that AR-15 that is like capable of fucking murking multiple people, okay, with ease, that gun I'm not even supposed to have, I can go over fucking boundaries, state lines, and protect someone else's property, and we have to go along with that. Like, that's a reasonable fucking thing to say. It's nuts.
And your goal that night, you took it upon yourself to protect the 59th Street property, correct?
The owners asked.
Sure. But you were going to station yourself at that property to try and protect it from damage. Fair?
Wait, the owners asked? Isn't that a lie? Didn't the owners literally say that they did not ask? Am I wrong? They fucking didn't, right? That's a lie, isn't it? They literally said that they didn't they?
The car source locations, yes.
And once the police had pushed everybody south of that, there was no more danger.
At that car source location, yes.
Okay. So why not go home at that point?
Dude, I usually agree with you, but everything you just said is wrong. Everything I said is wrong. You think it's a normal country where, like, you can just fucking grab a weapon and, like, go to a different person's, like, property that they themselves aren't even there and defending, and just be like, I'm defending this property. And you could just, like, straight up do that? That's, like, a normal thing that you think you can do? Do you really think that, like, we're not even talking about, like, is this self-defense? Is this not self-defense? Like, does Kyle Rittenhouse deserve to go to jail? I'm not even saying that. But the underlying premise that we have to abide by, that we have to be, we have to behave as though it's like normal, is the notion that a 17-year-old can get a fucking, an AR-15, drive across state borders, doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes away, and literally sit on someone else's property and be like, I'm defending it with my gun, and brandish it. You know what I mean? I'm just like, this is the fucking, this is normal. Like, that's insane to me, okay? It's fucking insane.
Because the police were still pushing people back, and then they were backing up, and I was still helping people provide medical first aid.
Okay, so the police had established the line at 60th with their Bearcats at that point, right?
Yes.
And there was no indication that they were going to reverse and back.
By the way, this guy's at BRB grabbing a big machete and defending my neighborhood's Applebee's as a joke. Except someone did that and almost fucking died. There was like a neurodivergent dude who grabbed the katana and tried to fucking defend his neighborhood's bar and literally got his shit pushed in. Do you guys not remember? He almost fucking died. He was like flailing around on the ground. People beat the shit out of him. Don't do stuff like that. Especially when, like... That's because you're a soy cucklord? Yeah. Me, on the other hand, I'm fucking alpha, baby. I'm alpha, big dick, swinging below the knees, motherfucker. That's why I defend Applebee's, because they got $5 jalapeno poppers. And let me tell you something, brother. That's America.
Back up and move back north again. But
The funniest part about the fucking medic thing is that, like... What is this, dude? You think it cancels out? Like, what is this, a fucking... Is this a game? Is this like a Nintendo Switch baby game or something? Like, well, I was there to save some people's lives, even though I have no medical qualification to do so. But I did bring in, I did bring a medic bag So, you know, if I save one person's life with a medic bag, even though I didn't, you know, that cancels out the kills. Like, everybody knows that. I leveled up with the kills. This is an exploit. For those of you who don't know, this is an exploit. You kill someone, and then you save someone else's life, and that way the kill is, you know, the kill, you get the experience from the kill, but you don't actually fucking end up seeing the legal consequences. He's power gaming, which is why he should be arrested regardless. But, you know, he's glitch hacking. He's power gaming. He's basically duping XP by getting XP from the revive and also XP from the kill. I would ban him. That's a VAC ban, I think. Yeah, that's why you have to be afraid of doctors. They have literally just the endless amount of confirmed kills.
Correct?
No, they did it earlier in the night where they did the same thing.
Right, but this is at 11:30, 11:40 at night, and they've established that, the police have established that line, and as far as you can tell, it's going to stay there.
Dude, this is such a hyperbole of a take. Come on. Bro, they're literally trying to establish that he wasn't there with an AR-15 to fucking, like, get a legal kill when he clearly was, and he actually ended up doing that by claiming, the defense, claiming that, like, well, he had a medic bag with him, so he was trying to resuscitate people too, maybe if a push came to shove, except he had no medical qualifications to do so, even though he did lie about it. I usually agree with you, but what you're preaching would outlaw speedrunning. Okay, well, there's a reason why leftists love speedrunning. Okay, it's because they're beta.
There, right?
I don't know.
And you talked about trying to provide medical help, but there's no one around that needs medical help at the 59th Street car source at that point, is there?
Not that I noticed.
So you don't have any purpose there anymore, do you?
Other than...
So why not go home?
Because I was going to help people with provide first aid and medical assistance.
Sorry, sir. In the United States of America, as a consequence of recent ALEC and NRA lobbying efforts, we have decided that AR-15s have medical healing properties. So you now are ordered by the judge to behave and suspend your belief that the AR-15 is a killing machine and instead is actually a healing machine, as is the law. Okay, we decided that you are now a mercy main. Okay, you have a fucking mercy gun. So when you shoot your AR-15, it doesn't actually shoot bullets. It shoots fucking patches. Okay, it shoots bandages. So, you know, that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was there to do, and that's what I was gonna do. That's Anna. Oh, fucking not. That's Antidote. Whatever. I don't play video games. Video games fucking cause violence, as is the case that the prosecutor really greatly made when talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. What a fucking incredible opening statement by the prosecutor, by the way. Like, just immediately disproven narratives. Holy fuck. That, like, video games cause violence. What is this, 1998, dude? What the fuck's going on? Union Dude from Canada posted Ryan Grimm. I meant it when I say we'd have a better criminal justice system if every judge was as hostile to the prosecution as Rittenhouse's judge to his prosecutor. Of course, we don't have that system. Meanwhile, the media did a real disservice to people who are going to be shocked at an acquittal and assume he was acquitted because of a biased judge, when really it's the videos that show him acting in those moments in self-defense under the law as it is. Yeah. I mean, both of these things are true. Imagine if we had a fucking contentious, an aggressive judge in every instance where, like, a black person was on trial and the prosecution was trying to fucking hit them with the goddamn kitchen sink. That would be incredible. Ryan Grimm is friend of the show. No, it would be awesome. So he's correct on that. He's also correct on the fact that, like, when you look at the situation, the reason for why he's there is to get a legal kill. But he successfully got that legal kill because he can adequately claim that he was engaging in self-defense. My anger on the situation revolves around his premeditation. Okay? his prior point of view. The fact that, like, he knows if he stays there, and he knows that if he brings a gun to a protest, like he fantasized about 15 days prior, that he will be able to shoot at motherfuckers and get away with it. It's so good. So fucking good, dude.